Hilda Anderson-Pierce is the chair of the National Family and Survivors Circle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hilda Anderson-Pierce. I'm the chair of the National Family and Survivors. She said the funding will allow families affected by MMIWG to access support services across the country.
This funding will support Indigenous-led, culturally safe, and trauma-informed family and victim-centered approaches. Individuals and families must be able to access services and supports regardless of where they lived. And this is really critical because we know in remote and isolated locations, opportunities to access services and supports are minimal.
About $96 million of the funding will be delivered over 5 years. The other roughly $20 million is ongoing.
Programs
Justice
and
Minister David
organizations
Lametti said one of the key things is the support services will be Indigenous-led.
Indigenous agencies and organizations have the knowledge and the expertise to help overcome the barriers that Indigenous people who are victims of crime face when accessing services and supports. Indigenous agencies and organizations know what they need from the justice system and what they need to assist victims in their healing journey.
Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Mark Miller added a portion of the funding for families will continue after the initial 5-year commitment, as called for in the final report on MMIWG.
Failure to provide these funds in a systemic way, in an Indigenous-led way, means that people continue to go missing and often turn up dead, or in the case of their families and the survivors, do not get the closure and accountability that that is due. And in turn, they become vulnerable.
Anderson-Pierce said it will also allow families to get more information when a loved one goes missing or has been murdered.
I would say that, it could involve the potential of hiring a private investigator, because I know this has been repeatedly shared with me when I was the director of the MMIWG liaison unit, with the gaps in policing and responses and other mechanisms that are, out there that are not necessarily responding in the way that families and victims are looking for support. So it could also potentially, support legal advocacy too. So
Monday's announcement comes from funds previously announced as part of Budget 2023. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.